Pico on the line for our Verizon post-match interview. I'm so excited. Pico, first and foremost, congratulations. I'm sure you guys are going absolutely insane, and I'm opening it up with an easy one. How's your German?
Not the greatest, that's for sure. But definitely kind of a surreal feeling after everything that we've done and how long we've been together as a team and kind of all the hardships we've had, the tournament, the heartbreaks. So it feels really good actually to get to go to a LAN, which none of us have been shy of saying. Like, that's what the roster is built for. We want to go to a LAN. We want to perform on LAN.
Yeah, and I mean, why don't we delve a little deeper into that? Because obviously you guys were our first Strike champions. You were the big dogs in Valorant, and then it kind of fell off. There were some troubles in the early VCT. What's it like for you guys to have stuck with this roster, to have stuck with these 5 players, and to finally find this big success?
Yeah, I mean, we did make a roster change since first Strike, but no, we've been really practicing as hard as we could, especially after not making it to Iceland. I think it really kind of took a toll on all of us. Like we realized that what our results weren't acceptable, and we pumped it up a notch. We've been practicing so much. I mean, we've been here in Dallas, Texas for the past like 10 days just boot camping. So we this meant a lot to us. This was a make or break kind of moment, and we showed up and we did our job.
That you did, and I mean, outside of the victory, you guys put on a show. Those matches being so incredibly close. We saw close matches, especially on those 2 maps with XSET previously. But I want to kind of to piggyback off of you guys being down in Texas boot camping. How has that been? Obviously, there's you're a bit closer to the servers down there, so you have that ping on your side. But has there been any changes in boot camping in that compound versus you guys being out at that Cash App compound in LA? Is there anything specifically different that kind of attested to this victory?
I mean, it's the Cash App compound is great. The Complexities compound is great. It was not about the Cash App compound not being good enough. It was purely a location thing. It seemed like most of the teams this Masters just happened to be in Dallas, or be in not necessarily Dallas, but Texas in general. Right. So when it comes to a ping differential, ping diff as the Twitch chat likes to say, it just made sense to be in Texas, and in a different game, in a different a different world. There's maybe more servers where if you are from Texas, you don't just ping really low everywhere, and our team is kind of located just everywhere. So it wasn't worth. The problem with going to LA is if we went to LA, we can't play Texas against Texas teams, and the only other option is to play Chicago, and the teams from Texas have like half our ping to Chicago still. So it just makes no sense to boot camp in LA. That's not anything against obviously 100 Thieves. That's nothing against the compound. The Cash App compound's great. It's purely a logistical thing.
Sure, and I mean, I guess to zero in back on the matchup at hand, just tell me about that first map, because you guys were down 9-3 at the half, and you bring it back in a huge way on the attacking side. What made that possible, and what was it like for the team to be able to pull off that crazy comeback?
I mean, I feel like I was half asleep that first half. I think at one point I pressed tab, I was like 0-10. That didn't help. Obviously, we still had a very positive mindset coming into the second half. We all kind of realized like, hey, we win pistol round on second half, we win first gun round, all of a sudden it's 9-7, win the next gun round 9-8, and I mean, we did exactly what we were talking about doing. We have a very resilient team. If there's one thing that's been shown over the last, all of our tournaments, is that we're resilient. We may be down big, but we could always come back, and here we are again showing that down 3-9, and we come back and win 13-11. So shout out to my teammates. I mean, everyone stayed in it. Nobody got really tilted. Nobody was super like, emo or depressed or anything. We all were like, okay, we know what we got to do. Wake up. We got this. And we did it.
That you did. And now with this, obviously, huge success of leaps and bounds of where 100 Thieves have been previously and now moving forward in the right direction. I want to give you just these final thoughts, maybe to the fans, to the family, anybody watching, just your final thoughts here as we close out the interview.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, big shout out to 100 Thieves for continuing to believe in us and allowing us to do what is probably the greatest job in maybe the world, maybe not the world, but one of the greatest jobs I'm sure we could all possibly want. Obviously, big shout out to the fans. I know that the last few Masters, last few tournaments, we didn't really show the results we wanted or we expected, and we appreciate you guys sticking in there with us. Obviously, big shout out to all the fans and family, coaching staff, Edward, my mother. Shout out to everybody. We couldn't do it without you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, and huge congratulations on qualifying, Hiko.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, you too.
Wow, that is, I couldn't even begin to imagine what he's feeling right now. And it probably, as he said right at the beginning, it's surreal. It's been a long time coming, and it probably hasn't even really hit him yet.
Yeah.
Right. He's still sitting at the computer. He hasn't time to go hang out with the gang and kind of really breathe it in. So, again, hats off to 100 Thieves, one of the two teams. I believe Sentinels also qualified on the opposite side of the bracket. So they're going back. They're defending their title at the international end, Mimi.
Yeah, that they are. And I mean, talk the bracket. Let's take